Okay, this is Peter Flax, Editor-in-Chief of Bicycling Magazine here at Interbike 2013, and I have the honor standing next to Greg LeMond, three-time Tour de France winner and now a co-owner of a new venture to bring bicycles to market, again with the LeMond name on it. And so my first question for you is just what does it mean to you to see your name on a bike again?
Well, you know, it's taken me a while to kind of digest a lot of stuff in the past, and wanting to try to figure out how to come back into the market where I could differentiate myself. And you know, I started my bike company in '86, and I'm been there since '86 until say 2008, and I call it took a little vacation for 4 years. But I've been really kind of looking at. Kind of waiting to look. I mean, I've been looked at different doing our own carbon fiber manufacturing, looking at Asia, and then, I know everybody at Time, and I know their process, and I've worn their pedals for my whole career, but the integrity of their frames, and I really wanted. We're working on something, so I can say I make bikes, and there's a lot of stuff I want to bring into the bikes that are, I want to control. Putting that into the bike. So, I've been planning to come back into the bikes, just not knowing when and how. Strategically, it's always been, it's a very competitive market, and there's a lot of great people out there, great bikes. So I've got ideas that I think I could do stuff a little bit differently.
Yeah. So I mean, what to you? What are the qualities of the bike you want to make the perfect bike? What are those qualities?
Well, to me, the first thing is I think there's, I've watched and I've had some very good bikes, 850 gram frame. I see there's been a race for grams, and everybody's looking at grams. And you look at a bike, it's a vehicle. It could be a dangerous vehicle. You're going down a hill, and I raced, racing in Europe. As a pro, you really want to make sure that the integrity of your bike is there, from the stem to from every piece of equipment. So, what I'm looking at is, first of all, I want durability. I don't necessarily need the lightest bike if I have 100 grams more, but it's in the right areas. It's really important to me. I'm a real believer in my bike geometry. There's a lot of people using similar geometries, but I'm really about the bike needs to, it's a little more forgiving. I think there's been a big push in the market for these aero racing bikes. I believe you can build a bike that's aero and light and compliant, but these Gran Fondo bikes should be everybody's racing bikes. Even the pros, they're asking to ride on these Gran Fondo bikes, and it's really just a really great road bike. And part of riding's got to be, you got to feel comfortable on your bike. I've got my own ideas on positioning, but what I look for is, obviously you always want lightweight and relatively good stiffness, but I also look at vibration. Carbon fiber has a lot of freak vibration, and it can get into, there's so many good bikes out there now, but when I look at the forks and all that, it's how it steers, I like to be the one that's turning the bike. Right. And so that's been kind of always my position until somebody tells me better. Right. And gives me better proof. Right. Is there some other thing I am a believer that, we'll learn a lot of new stuff with technology, with sensors and all that, about how frames are interacting with the rider.
So it's not so much for you weight or aerodynamics or these other
aerodynamics, things. Yeah. Aerodynamics, but I'm also a skeptic, and everybody's got I've done wind tunnel tests. I know that people make claims. I remember I won the '89 Tour, and according to a couple companies, I didn't have to pedal. Yeah. And the biggest drag on everybody is the body. So position's really critical. And if you can have aerodynamics where it's safe and it's predictable and you're stable on a bike, but to me, they've shown even the most aerodynamic businesses, if you can't pedal, you can't put out proper power output or watt output, it's irrelevant. So aerodynamics are important, but most road racing, triathlons, I love the triathlon market. Right. I want to come out with a kick-ass tri-bike. That's where you get to really do creative stuff. And in a way, the UCI and the rules and road bikes has limited kind of the creativity on what you can do. So there's only so much you can do. Integrated systems might be there. There's some stuff I have ideas for that. Right. I want to be able to implement.
So it sounds like you want to be really involved in all of the development and all the bikes that are going to be with the LeMond brand.
Yeah. I'm actually, my passion is design, and I've even with my fitness company, we work with IDEO, and with the Revolution, I was involved on a day-to-day basis, and that's where I didn't get that with when my bicycle with Trek. I didn't get to have my input like I wanted, and I love making stuff, and I want to make stuff. I'm like a frustrated. I wish I could do CAD systems. I wish I could do CNC, but surrounding myself with a good team of designers. I believe like great design just should be form follows function, and I don't want to have every piece of equipment, every tube should have a function, and it's not just the carbon fiber shape just so it looks pretty. It's got great beauty as part of the design element of it. So that's what I'm a little older, and I've decided, it's like I want to have fun, and I want to make bikes for me. And I'm not just a road rider. I've been riding dirt or gravel that's real popular now since 80s. Mountain biking since the early 80s. So to me, cycling is cycling. Right. And I've ridden electric bikes. I go, shit, these are a blast. Yeah. So I guess I consider myself, doesn't look like it anymore, but I'm a cyclist.
So my last question is just with all the buzz going on about the announcement of the new LeMond company and these bikes, what do you hope that cyclists and consumers, like what seeing your name on a bike, what it means to them, what the LeMond brand means to people who love cycling?
If I guess for me, I know it sounds cliche, but authenticity. I mean, it goes through my whole life that I don't do stuff for show. I try to be me, which I gotta understand. I'm a skeptic. I question myself, and so every bike I want to have, I really want to have the integrity of the bike, and I want people to look at it and say, okay, I can trust that bike. I know that it's not going to be made. There's not going to be compromises, and and there's going to be. For a long time, I've marketed as this. I mean, I don't want to be based always on my history, because when I was racing, I wasn't about riding 1970 bikes. I was about riding the best stuff. But I'm also got the European side of me where I'm also concerned that I'm not going to do something that doesn't make sense. Aerodynamics is great, but if you can't ride it, it doesn't make any difference. So I don't know. I hope that I am who I am, and some people don't care for some of my my stances, but I think I'm pretty consistent, and I want that portrayed in my products that come out. I do one thing. I know cycling. Even my trainer, I know the kind of the basic physics of what it takes, and everything for me it's about how things feel authentic. And it's got to make sense. Nothing's going to be on the bike that doesn't have a function. So I don't know.
Good luck to you. I really wish you the best.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
That's good.